So this is Tracy. I'm Claire, and Tracy has a calligraphy business called Trace My Steps. So Tracy, can you tell me how you got started and yeah, how you began?
Yeah, so basically, I have a full-time job, so I wanted to start a hobby as well on my days off, just to learn a new skill. So I was looking around on Instagram, and then this brush pen lettering was really like trending about 3 years ago.
Okay.
So I got interested. I was like, oh, what's this? So then I started looking more into it, looking at other Instagrammers doing it. And then I just thought I want to try that. So, but I wanted to do like online courses. So I just do it on my own free time. So I just went on Skillshare, just followed a course. It was for traditional calligraphy, not the brush pen one. And yeah, I loved it. I mean, my first few tries were horrible. They were really ugly.
Yeah.
But back then I didn't think about it much. I just liked doing it. It's just the focus, the pen on paper. I just get lost in it.
You find it
Um,
relaxing?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Which is perfect during lockdown as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, so then I got hooked onto it. I wanted to learn more. But then after a while, I sort of had a gap year. I just left it. I can't really remember why. I think I just, maybe it's just life.
Yeah,
And then
just
like,
gets in the way.
yeah, and then during Christmas time, I just thought, oh, why don't I make Christmas cards for people and just start practicing again?
Yeah.
So, I mean, when I look back at it, it wasn't that great. But back then I thought, oh, it's nice. But then now when I look back, it's like, oh, it wasn't that great. But I enjoyed making it. It was the process,
Yeah.
the brainstorming and all
It's
that
about
I enjoyed.
developing your skills, isn't it? And I think you always do, like the more you learn, and then when you look back at your originals, yeah, you think they're great at the time, and then you're like, go, oh, well, maybe I wouldn't have done that this way. But it's all part of learning, you know, and I think
Yeah,
every
yeah,
artist goes through that, you know, when you look at your early pieces.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, after I did those cards, I started getting back into calligraphy again. So I started learning, picked up the brush pen, which is different, a slightly different. Um,
Is
but
this the Tombow I saw
yeah,
on your
combo.
page that yeah. And have you
Yeah, I'll
got
show
a,
you a bit.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah, brilliant, yeah, because I didn't know what one of those was, so it'd be nice to see.
yeah. So yeah, so last year, about I can't remember when, maybe beginning of last year, middle of last year, I started going back into calligraphy, and that's when I thought, why don't I make this my side hustle, since I'm doing it a lot on my free time anyways, and the rest is history. So here I am.
Yeah, brilliant. So can you show me the Tom brush and the calligraphy pen? And
Yeah,
can you maybe just have you got an example of how
yeah.
you get different effects, what they produce, why you like to use them?
Yeah, so this is the traditional calligraphy pen with the pointed nib.
And
Well,
is that
now
a dip? You dip that, it
yeah,
doesn't have a cartridge.
in an ink pot.
Yeah,
Um, it's hard to start first because it's a metal thing you're trying to write with.
yeah.
Once you get used to it, it's easy. And then this is the brush pen. It's a Tombow. There's many different types. It's basically like a felt tip pen.
Okay, yeah,
That looks like a marker. You don't have to dip anything into any ink.
yeah,
It's like a normal pen. It's easy for like beginners who want to start learning
yeah.
calligraphy. But once you get to intermediate level, it's harder to like, find your own style. More technical stuff.
Yeah.
Right, so Claire, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
So just tell me about yourself and how you became this vintage hair comb and accessory seller.
So basically, I've worked in the antiques business for like 20 years. So I actually used to manage a shop, and I've just recently been made redundant.
Mm-hmm.
But over the years there, we used to get customers asking if if we had some Art Deco hair pieces. And you don't really tend to get them. You know, what they tended to like was, if you can see there, were these like clip brooches.
Oh,
But they
that's lovely.
wanted them as, so this is like from the 1920s, 1930s, but they wanted them as a hair comb. And they didn't used to make things like that, they were more the bandos. So it took me about 5 years to then eventually get myself in gear and start making the combs. And then one of my colleagues actually said to me, why don't you try selling on Etsy? It's really good for like the art side of things. So I did. So I used to sell them in the shop, and I do still sell them on Etsy. And obviously, because I have always worked with vintage and antique pieces, I've learnt a lot over the years. One of my favourite pages is like the Art Deco, which is like the piece that I showed you. So it's a natural development, and this year the last couple of years I've been introducing more of the vintage jewellery as well to complement the hair combs. That's basically it for that one.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. So let's see. You've got some really like lots of shiny things in your collection as well. I love shiny pieces. So what made you, what's your process in like choosing the pieces in on your shop?
Normally, so if it, obviously, you know, before lockdown when you can just go shopping normally, I used to find quite a lot of things at the antique centre where I worked, and then I used to go to antiques fairs. But recently, obviously, because we're during lockdown, I've had to buy quite a few things online as well. But yeah, it's like looking at designs. Like as I say, my Art Deco is a favourite one. So basically, I'll look at this as a brooch, and then basically I'll just kind of be in the mirror and I'll be going, oh yeah,
Checking yourself
yeah,
out.
that'll look nice as a comb.
Yeah.
And that's how I do it really. You just, because like the vintage piece, you just tend to get so many different designs. And I also think of like the colours, and like obviously if you're thinking like bridal or somebody at the races or a prom, then it's nice when you get like the different colours. So like a lot of the Art Deco crystal ones, a lot of them tend to be clear and delicate, and then you get into like the 50s pieces, and they tend to have a lot of like nice bright, so you get the really like the bling pieces. So you think of like the Hollywood actresses, and they've got like the big brooches, and you know, they've got maybe like 2 or 3 bracelets lined up, and you know, you always think, oh, maybe you just wear one when they're big, but you know, they used to wear actually quite a lot. When you look at some of the old pictures. So yeah, I tend to like the 50s ones for the colours, and they're very sparkly. So lots of like, I always tend to go for a lot of blue. I love blue. But yeah, I tend to get like lots of pinks,
You're
greens, all
wearing
sorts
blue.
of, yeah, I know. But yeah, I just tend to like, I like the coloured ones. I think, you know, just to go obviously with people's accessories and things like that.
Great.
And obviously when you're doing your designing, do you have like some favorite music that you like to listen to?
Yes. My recent favorites are like lo-fi hip hop beats. It's on YouTube.
Yeah,
It basically, I mean, if you don't know, for those who don't know it, it's just like instrumentals with like calm, relaxing beats. No singing involved, and I
yeah.
prefer it that way because I feel like the singing distracts me. So yeah, that's what I listen to.
I can imagine if you have something too like dancey, you'd be
Yeah.
really
I'll get
quite right really quickly, yeah.
yeah.
And I really love the slogans that you come up with. I really like the one that said let us dance in the kitchen. So how did you come up with that? And what's your inspiration for your slogans? Because they're really great as well. And also do people ask you as well to put their own slogans onto your piece as well? Or are they all your own?
No, they're all my own so far. I've not had anyone ask me to customize, but I can if they really want to, I can. So I've got it here, this print that is done in the kitchen. So my inspiration for it was I was trying to brainstorm what to write, what to make, what new pieces to make. And I was thinking, oh, what about those lettuce jokes? And I was thinking, oh, since lettuce is a vegetable, it should be related to, you know, the kitchen.
Yeah.
So that's how eventually I just came up with lettuce dance in the kitchen.
Yeah.
There were a lot of ones that didn't make the cut. I think some of them are too corny or too cheesy. So I was thinking, no, I didn't want it to make it too dad joke.
And do you tend to sort of like try them out on your friends and family and things like that first before you get them into print, or do you just tend to brainstorm and just write lots of different ideas down?
I normally do it on my own. Sometimes I do like ask my boyfriend, and
Hmm.
sometimes he'll just tell me, "Oh, that's too cheesy."
Nothing like a bit of honest truth, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what
So,
about the so when you've actually done your designs, how would
mhm,
you then put them into print? You know, what's your process there? Because obviously you've got your hard copy, your artist copy, and then obviously you
yeah.
put them on. Is it just cards and then prints that you do, or?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
those are just two at the moment that I do. I normally sketch it out, and then after writing them with my pens,
Yeah.
I just scan them using my Epson scanner at home.
Hmm.
And then I get the files on my computer, I sort of edit it, polish it up,
Yeah.
and then just print it off on my the same. It's a scanner slash printer.
Yeah.
I find it more economical for me as well to do it from home.
Yeah. I suppose a lot
And
of places want quite big batches and things, and when you just, when you're quite a new business, it's all costing, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. So maybe if I do get lots of orders, I might send it to the printers if I can't cope. But at
Yeah.
the moment, because I'm just starting out, I think it's better for me this way as well. Yeah.
Which are the most popular at the moment? Do you tend to find you're selling more of your cards or your prints or a little
It,
bit of both?
um, I haven't started. I haven't listed my cards yet on Etsy, which I will do soon in the next week. I've just recently designed the card. I mean, I was thinking about it for a long time.
Yeah.
Um, it was just the technical side of it, because you got to digitize it and make it to card size. I
Yeah.
wanted it to be A6. And then it took me like 1 or 2 full days to work
Yeah.
that. I was researching, Googling how to do it. I nearly lost my head.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of my,
Technology.
yeah. So I'm really proud of getting there in the end, actually making an actual card.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
someone who has like really like no knowledge of it before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's easy when you know how.
yeah, exactly. Um, so Claire, your craft includes attaching, your brooches onto combs.
Yeah.
How did you learn to do that?
Well, that's quite similar to yourself, Ray. That's all self-taught. So basically, because the vintage pieces, I don't like to take the pins off the back because I think, well, if somebody might want to, obviously if it's like a wedding, you're going to only probably wear it once. But if it's a
Mm-hmm.
brooch, you might be able to wear it again. So I wire them on. So I just you can see there. So they're wired at the back there, so I don't damage the pin on them. So you can actually then, if you wanted to just take that off and then wear it as a brooch again, or you can keep to pass it down. So this is kind of what I start with. These are pre-bought, the
Mm-hmm.
combs. And then it was just trial and error at first with the thickness of the wire, because also I do
Mm-hmm.
introduce beading as well on some pieces. So it's just getting the right thickness, because if it's too thick, it's quite rigid and you don't get the right look. Similar to what you're saying, probably some of the early pieces that I did, I wouldn't do it the same again now, but I think I've found the right thickness of wire for it to work well and for it to look neat and tidy as well on the back. But yeah, the main thing is really is not to damage the piece. I really really appreciate the history, and I also think if it's something that's being passed down someday, because I can also customize pieces. So if there's
Right.
like grandma's got like a brooch or something like that, or maybe a pendant or like an odd earring, I can incorporate that into a piece. So obviously if it's
Mm-hmm.
somebody else's piece of jewelry, I won't want to damage that in any way. So that's just really important thing to me. not to start damaging pieces when they've had so much work put in them to begin with. You know, I've got to
Yeah.
appreciate the first person's work that did all that in there as well.
Do you use your hands, or do you have like a tool?
I've just got, so yeah, I just have some quite basic, you know, some tools, you know, like a beadsmith. So yeah, it's just to get the, you know, the tightness, so, and then to bend the wire. So yeah, I've just got some like pliers and cutters and things like that, but I don't need to use any machinery or anything like that. So just nice basic tools.
Oh, that's nice. I see some like Scottish pieces in your collection as well, and they're really unique. How and where did you get them from?
Again, I used to find some of those like antiques fairs, and also online as well. But
Yeah.
the most popular ones I tend to find out, it might just be the ones that I like the best, but these with they've got like it's called like a cold painted enamel.
Right.
So this is like, so it's so just been like, they're just been painted on. So these are probably from like the 1950s, 60s, and they've
Mm-hmm.
got like little marker seats inside as well. But
Mm-hmm.
those tend to be the most popular, the ones which have got the coloured enamel, and obviously the thistle, you know, obviously the really striking design. So I tend to actually send quite a few of those to the States and to Australia, funny enough. So
Oh.
they tend to have quite a big following over there. Sent odd ones to Scotland, but they've probably got enough of their own supply up there.
Yeah. Too many there.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I really like the thistle ones especially. Yeah, they're
Mhm.
really nice. And then some of them as well, you get particularly the older silver pieces. So I do sell sterling silver piece as well, and that's really nice when they've got the hallmark on the back. So it might have a hallmark on to say that it was made in Scotland. You know, it'll have like the castle on there for like Edinburgh, and that'll
Mhm.
signify that it's been made in Scotland. And then you'll have like the date letters, and again, quite a lot of those with like 1940s, 1950s. So those are
Oh.
really nice to have as well. And again, you know, that's why I wouldn't want to damage that, 'cause it's a nice little piece of history.
Yeah, exactly. Have you got any other questions for me, or?
Yeah, just basically, so you're selling on Etsy. Do you think you might want to sell anywhere else? You're going to try any fairs? Obviously, you do work full time as well.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I started with Etsy because I think it's easiest for beginners.
Yeah, I was the
Yeah,
same. Yeah, when you're working full time. Yeah,
yeah. You don't have to build your own website as well, and to take care of everything else. You just list your products. So, but eventually, I mean, I do want to get involved in like physical craft fairs.
yeah,
Um, so that this year I thought I would do that, but you know, things happened and we're doing it virtually instead. um, but yeah, maybe eventually I will make my own website, if I learn how to do it. And if I do, if business grows, yeah, I might do that. What
yeah.
about you? Got your any
Again,
other thing?
I was hoping to probably do some fairs. So this is why doing this virtual fair has been a really good opportunity to, you know, get yourself out there. I have
Mm,
done the York Etsy Made local fairs before, and they've
mm,
been really good. And it's really nice to actually meet your customers. But obviously, if you can't really do that at the moment, this is a great way to meet people, isn't it? You know, and interact. And
yeah,
obviously, it's really nice to meet other sellers as well, which has been the really nice thing about doing all this as well. So.
yeah, the Etsy community is really great.
Yeah, it's very supportive, and it's, yeah, you can't beat it really, I think, for the craft side, and yeah, just to help grow your business.
Yeah. So
Okay,
yeah, I think that's it.
so that's it. So we've got the fair coming up on the 1st and 2nd of August.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for watching, and make sure you check out myself and Tracy's video and have a look at our shops. Thanks for
Yep.
watching. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.